Hey traders, what's up? This is the watch list video for Monday, December 5th. Starting off with the daily on the SPY as I always do. You can't see pre-market on this, but in pre-market, SPY got slapped down to I think 400 or 400 and a penny or something like that on economic numbers. That I guess the numbers were good, so traders thought it was bad because it meant interest rates are going to keep going up. Econ isn't my strength, right? The worst class I took in college, I hated it. But anyway, as a trader, we knew the number was coming out, and so in pre-market I rarely trade anyway. But it certainly had a seatbelt on to see what was going to happen, and it got slapped. But really nice recovery, right? From about 400 in pre-market all the way up to almost 408 at one point intraday. So pretty nice strength. I talked about once we broke through that 200-day, the market feels pretty bullish actually. So anyway, you guys know I'm a day trader. I'm in cash every night, so all I'm going to do is look for things to trade on Monday, right? RMED, let me give a quick shout out to myself because I gave a cup and handle alert when it looked like this. I've also covered this in a weekend video. I've started making Saturday morning videos, recapping a few trades from the week, trying to teach the why of what we do, to explain day trading to people that don't really understand it. What we do isn't guessing, right? I take trades at certain spots that should work right away. If they don't, that's also telling me something that I'm probably wrong. But when you can take an entry that pretty much gets you green right away, it takes a lot of other problems out of the day trading equation, right? Because then all you have to do is scale out into strength, and that's a pretty good feeling to have. So this is what RMED looked like intraday. And again, I covered it in the Saturday video, but it was a morning gapper. Went up to 444 and then sold off. And I think it probably looked about like this. I don't know. When I just took it off a chart, I said, well, this one, I don't think it's going to make it back to the high of day. And even if it does, it will have come a long way to get there. So I didn't like it. And then later in the day, Frank in chat, it looked about like this, posted, hey, RMED's worked its way back up. So I hadn't even watched it. I took it off a chart. So hat tip to Frank. And then it did this little cup and handle. And I'll bring over the screenshot. This was when it looked like that. It wasn't even a cup and handle yet. It was probably trading right about where my cursor is there. I put out my idea that it put in a lower high of 435, which was right there. There's the earlier high of 444, and the PM high, pre-market high, was 460. So I said, I'm going to try it if it breaks this flag basically over 435, knowing we had 444 and 460 as potential catalysts as well. And you can see it took both of them out. And my best sell personally was 475. Neat little afternoon trade though. And shows the teamwork in chat, because if Frank hadn't posted that it worked its way back up, and by the way, I encourage anyone in chat to do that. You always have to understand, I might not even be watching it anymore, or other people may have taken it off a chart as well. So love that kind of teamwork, Frank, and let's all learn a lesson from that and make sure that we are posting stuff that we were watching early if it gets back, into an interesting pattern. All right. Anyway, whoops, let's go to SPY again. There's the daily. So here's what I'm watching for Monday. AVXL is weird because it was just beaten up and then had good news in pre-market and opened up here. And look at the intraday. So it sold off, then took out the high of day, and then kind of bled a little bit lower the rest of the day. But this is on enough traders' radar, and 45 million traded on Friday, and had good news on Friday. That as a trader, I'd be wrong not to have that on a chart. TOPS has made a couple crazy moves. The last 2 days, it's gotten kind of slapped down, right? But it's still an in-play stock. What I'd love to see is a narrow range and an afternoon high of day break on the thing. We could get a squeeze. So let's keep tops on a chart. TOPS. KTRA had a really nice move. The low on this candle here was 423. And then 2 days later, it was at 1040. That's a massive move. So now we got a red day on much lower volume. I'd like to see another red day, and then it'd probably be my favorite to watch for a bounce play. But sometimes you get a massive move, you get a red day on lower volume, and then things start ripping again. So KTRA will be on a chart. EH, nice volume for this stock and a little mini breakout. We're going to watch that, see if it gives a follow-through setup. RMED, already talked about it. Love the 2-day volume. And a pretty strong close. We're going to watch that one. SPLK. Broke out on earnings on Thursday. Quiet inside day on Friday. Looking for a third-day play there. GCT, kind of my sleeper pick, but had a nice little day-and-a-half pop from 606 to the next day, 863. Again, a nice percentage move. It doesn't really look like much because back here it went up to 60, which scrunches all this together, right? But I like this. The 2-day move, kind of flag, and starting to curl up. Gonna watch that one. PLBY. I told everyone in chat I'm gonna be researching this one all weekend, going to their website and doing all the research I can because I like the chart, and maybe this will have a follow-through setup. So I'm kidding though, just in case my wife can hear me. I'm kidding. Anyway, looking for a follow-through day there. DBI, straight down for really 3 sessions in a row, and kind of took out these lows back here. So certainly overdue for a snapback bounce. And I would make the same argument for BG. 3 days in a row down on big volume. If you want to call this an island up here, the low of this island was around 95, and we pierced that to the downside on Friday. Sometimes that happens, but it's come a long way to get there. Kind of a recipe for a possible snapback bounce. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see everybody in the chat room on Monday morning.